Hello everyone. Today we are sharpening inside and I'm going back to my roots of sharpening with my Sharpworks guided system here. This was my very first system I ever started sharpening with, and I thought this would be a great time. It's very cold out and I have my own knives to sharpen, and I want to show you my process of going through my diamond stones to my ceramic and to my leather strop over there. So I'm trying to get a good area for my camera for you guys to try and show. So this one is a upgraded model. So this is a awesome system because this can fit any stone. These two unscrew, loosen up, and then this can adjust forward or backwards to make sharpening on any stone work. So today I'm going to start with my extra coarse DMT diamond stone. So the great thing about this is, so it's a little loose right up here. Push it in, so now it's a secure fit, top and bottom. And then I'm still gonna use tape to protect like the knives against any metal shavings because this is a magnet over here. So I'm still gonna put a little tape on the edge of the knife. All right, and with this upgraded model, you can move this slider. So if you have a very short knife, a very small knife, kind of like this guy, you can put it up here. Whoops. And then it's stationary. And then you can move it up so the whole bevel is showing. And then if you have a larger knife, you just push this up more. And then this whole knife can stay flat against right here. And then you can push this against it to make sure it's a secure fit. So this upgraded model is fantastic. So let's start with the smaller one first. So put this knife up here. Then I'm gonna use the Allen screw to secure it because the older one wouldn't allow this. So it was kind of like a one size fits all, and the owner just added these couple of things over here to make life a little bit easier. So now I have the whole knife to sharpen. So how this works is that you can set your angle. Let's see if it's on camera. So you can set the angle right here. So from pretty much 0 all the way up to 30 degrees, you can sharpen pretty much any knife. So I have mine set around 17, just below the 20, so it could be 18. And then you want to make sure it's on the same side, and then you're going to put it in this bubble level here. So now you have this part set up at your angle. Oops. And then take you over here so you can see. Let me just move this over here. So I have my angle set on the knife, and then all I'm going to do is with my angle guide. So with the bubble level, you just want to move this little screw, and this is what this rests on. So I know I need to come down a little bit more, and that's perfect. So the knife is set at around 17 on the angle, then the bubble level is in the center, and now we're pretty much ready to sharpen. All right. And I'm starting with 120 grit diamond stone, pretty coarse stone. Buster, how's it going? I'm sharpening indoors today, since it is freezing outside, and I have my Sharpworks guided sharpener, and this thing is pretty awesome. So I'm starting with 120 grit. And then I'm gonna work my way up to the Spartaco ceramic stones, the 1200, 2000, and then 5000. So on the older model, you didn't have this option for tweaking it and making it as wide or narrow as you want. So this is a little bit of the upgraded model. So I'm just gonna tighten these little Allen screws here. Put the knife on up here, and then that's it. So I have my, how's the angle? Okay. And then all I'm gonna do is just sharpen here until I create a burr. And then the cool thing about this, it has this angle guide here, and you can't screw it up. Like, it will allow you to only go forward and back, so you can't have any of these weird angles. Because you can freehand this, but I have the toughest time getting the same angle back and forth. So with this guided sharpener here, I can hold it at a pretty steady angle, but if my arms get a little tired, that's why it's so good to have this guy here, so you can maintain the same angle back and forth. So and so I'm just going on this until I can create a burr. Now I'll work on the ceramic stones. And then if I want to change like the angle, so let's say I want to go to 20 degrees, all I do is just adjust it up here. Make sure it's 20 on both sides. Try and get you guys in frame. Tighten that down. So then I have my knife, then I put my knife on the inside by the magnet, and then I just adjust like my bubble level a little bit to make sure it's at the proper angle. So right here, so then I can even use it just one hand, and then let's see. That looks good right there. That's in the middle. All right, perfect. So then if I want to stay at 20, I charge $10 per knife. I have this streaming on my iPad too, is in case, because the angle is kind of tough to see, so I'm trying to make sure I could see any comments that you guys have. Oh, okay, perfect. All right. Oh, you guys just see where I just I gave blood. Perfect. All right. So usually I sharpen all my knives on my belt sander, but today in the shop it is pretty cold, so Donna, you can go to my website. It is the Knife Guy Reno, and then you can fill out all the forms, and you can send it to me. So it's thenifeguyreno.com, and you can send all the contact info from right there. That's my email as well. So my email is thenifeguyreno@gmail.com. And yeah, so just $10 per knife. That's it. Oh, awesome. So this is kind of like if you have like a chill day and you just want to just zen out. This sharpener is amazing. So it's SharpWorks, and he has different sharpeners up there. Ones that are a little bit more novice, so ones that don't have this adjustable block. And people ask me like, how come I don't sharpen on the on my diamond and ceramic stones anymore? It's like, well, I still do, just not as often. And it is freezing outside in Reno. It's like below freezing right now. Oops, very sharp. Okay, so I can feel a little bit of a burr. I know I have a little bit more of a ways to go. And I also, I knew like my freehand sharpening wasn't that good. So I was looking for a sharpener that is kind of like this. I can't screw it up. I know there's other sharpeners out there that have like a fixed angle, but I wanted to choose like my own stones. And then, you know, there's other sharpeners out there. You have to get their own specific stones. So if you like diamond or ceramic or actually whetstones, these are fantastic. This one, I think he has it on sale for less than $100 actually. And then if you have, and you guys can actually use my discount code, because I contacted them, because I'm like, hey, I enjoy using this. And if you use my discount code, TheKnifeGuy10, you get 10% off your entire order with them. So, and the cool thing is you can adjust the angle to whatever you want, and you can't screw it up. So, and then you have to make sure it's just in the same bubble level. So, SharpWorks, that's right. And this will fit pretty much any blade. So I have a few here. Okay. Have a burr. Sweet, I'm just gonna flip it over now. Yeah, man, anytime. Hold on, I'm just gonna let the dog out for a second. So I like having different options because I do love using my belt sharpeners, but this one is great if you want to have a nice little cozy day inside. And yeah, you can watch TV. This is almost, you know, mindless because you just go forward and back, and you just want to make sure the bubble level stays in the middle, and then that's it. Let's see. Try and get the camera a little bit better angle. How's that? Yeah. I'm trying to, oh, there it is right there. Perfect. How is this angle view for everyone? I am using my hand sharpener to sharpen a few knives here today at the house. Let's see how this looks this way. Perfect. This is a good view, so let me know if you want me to change camera views or not. And then you can look down, make sure you're hitting the entire angle, or the entire edge of the knife. And I love starting with a very coarse grit here. So when I first started, I wasn't sure which stones to get. And then I started with my ceramic stones, and I didn't realize I needed to start with a very coarse stone. So and then to work the tip, I can just move just this part here. So only drawback is this wouldn't be great for kukris or anything that has a real curve on it. That's the only drawback, but I think that would be happening with any stone sharpening. Okay, let's feel for a burr. Okay. All right. So that looks pretty good. Have that guy there. Then now I'm gonna go to my larger knife. And the cool thing is, so before, this clamp did not move. It was stationary. So you had to mess around with the smaller knives. So the cool thing is, comes with the Allen screw. So this whole bottom part is a magnet. And then this whole plate just pushes back to give you more surface area. So since this is a larger knife, I'm gonna use the maximum surface area that this allows. So, and then I have the angle set at still at 20. The bubble level is still pretty good. I'm trying to zoom in. So I like having different options for sharpening, especially in Reno, because the weather gets so cold and sometimes the garage is just unbearable to sharpen in. So, and plus here, there's not any loud music, or the machines aren't loud. I can talk normally. I don't have to worry about my respirator since I'm not creating a lot of metal shavings that are spraying everywhere. So, all right. So, and then with sharpening, I'll just do most of the blade here, and then when I want to hit like the edge, I can tilt this and the tip, and then sharpen the tip just like this as well. And with the 120 grit diamond stone, this creates a burr very fast. And then when I use the ceramic stones, I'll just be refining the edge and making more of like a mirror polish. So you can zen out actually watching TV, have a conversation with someone. So, I mean, I haven't done a lot of stone sharpening in a long time since business has been very busy. And this is kind of like a free day for me, so I want to show this off. Okay, and then if you need to adjust like the angle, then all you do is just move this little switch up here, making sure that you're in, tighten it, and then you are good to go. So this is a little bit slower than actually like belt sharpening, and then if there's any major gouges or tips that need to be redone, this takes longer, but since these are my own knives, these are in pretty good shape. Nice. And just like that, I feel a burr. So then you flip it over, and then I'll create a burr on the other side. And then when you work the tip, you just want to make sure that your bubble level is in the middle, and then you know you're at the right angle still. So this this jig takes all the guesswork out, and that's why I wanted it. And I had a tough time finding something that worked on my needs and wasn't gonna break the bank. There's other sharpeners out there, like the Wicked Edge, but it's very expensive. This one allows you to use your own stones too, so that's why I love it. Plus, you get a pretty good workout going back and forth. Sweet. Burrs formed. I like it. All right. And then, so now we can go back to a smaller knife, because now before this, I think this was how big the Magna was before. So you could put it on, but there's no there's no real backing. So what he did for the upgrade is put this little adjustable clamp in there, which is awesome. So all this is from Sharpworks. What's up? Hey, Clint. Hey, man, how's it going? I usually sharpen on belt sanders, but it's freezing here in Reno, so I thought I'd show a little bit of how to sharpen on my Work Sharp sharpener. So thank you for tuning in, man. Honestly, you can go with the smaller blades and then work your way up with the larger ones. I just want to show like the versatility, and it doesn't take too long to swap this out. And now you can push against this and it won't move. So okay, making sure this is still in the same angle. I'll adjust this just a little bit. This is a different size knife. Perfect. So usually I run a couple of different 1x30 belt sanders with different grits, starting with 120, 600, 1200, and then finish with my leather strop. And today I'm just gonna be doing this one. Stinky, how's it going, man? How's it going, buddy? A little different sharpening for today. Clint, thank you very much for subbing, man. I appreciate it. So if these were for customers, I feel like I would be, in a little bit more of a rush because it takes longer sharpening on stones. But since this is like my own and I kind of have a free day, I just wanted to tune these up a little bit. And for the home user, we try and save money where we can, and I think this model is currently less than $100 on their website. What sharpener do you use? This is a DMT diamond stone, and this is a very coarse grit. And yeah, I'm starting with a coarse grit, then just working my way up to finer grits with the ceramic stones. So when I first got into sharpening, I never went with with whetstones. There's really good whetstones out there, and the glass stones with shafting glass, but I went with these ceramic stones from Spyderco, and they work well, but I still needed something very coarse to create a burr first, and I found the diamond stone, this DMT diamond stone, that works out amazing. Okay. Got a burr, perfect. And I'm going just very light pressure here, nothing too crazy. And then if you, I thought, so I have the same one. I don't. Awesome, man. Yeah, I like that. I just found using the belt sanders is better for actually having a business because I can crank out, I don't know, maybe 20 knives per hour or maybe more if I'm really pushing through and there's not a lot of damage I have to work on. And then I found out like a lot of customers don't take care of their knives, and so there's a lot of nicks and chips and broken tips on it. So the sharpener makes very quick work of restoring the knife to the proper edge. But if you want to just take your time, have a little bit of like a zen day, enjoy some coffee or tea right here. I have the dog. He is my little helper today. And yeah, just hanging out in a nice air-conditioned house. So my workshop is a little cold. I do have a split air unit, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to show this off. And I contacted the owner of Work Sharp, as this was my first guided sharpener. And I told him how much I love it and told him about YouTube. So if you guys do go to Work Sharp and you purchase something, you can use my discount code. It's in the description, the Knife Guy 10 for 10% off your entire order. So I told him like how much I love this, and he wanted to help everyone out who watches this and if they want to purchase this. So there's different grades of sharpeners. Like this one's probably $100. There's a cheaper one out there that's kind of like a fixed length, so you have to get the proper size stone. He does sell stones on his website. I think they're Arkansas stones as well. So I never got into any blacksmithing, but I think that's awesome. Yeah, my blacksmith. Yeah, like what Stinky was talking about, I'm a full-time fireman, so I've been sharpening knives on my days off professionally for 2 years now. So what turned out to be a little hobby, side hustle, has actually turned into a real blown business. Well, honestly, I didn't really know how to take care of a blade, and that's how I fell into the passion of a knife sharpening, because I have very nice knives, and oh yeah, this 120 does great work for that. So just putting a quick edge on it, quick burr. So one drawback I think for any guided sharpener is this recurve here. I never use this part anyway, so I'm going to just maintain this flat angle right here. I can do it on the belt sander. It's very simple. Plus the belt is only a 1 inch wide, and I need a belt splitter to get in like those really recurve spots. But if I just angle the blade up on the belt sander, it works out great. But today I'm just gonna hit this flat part here. And then just wanna make sure, so it's just that simple. I have the angle set around 20. The magnet is there. I still kept it the same size for the small knife compared to this one. And then you wanna make sure the bubble level is in the middle, which it is, so. You can always borrow my belt split. Hey, Jones, yeah, man, I totally appreciate it. Everyone, Home by Jones, he's a buddy of mine. His name is Warren. He's a great knife sharpener in the Carson City area. Has an awesome YouTube channel, so you can check him out. But yeah, Warren, I totally appreciate that, man. I use a ceramic rod. Yeah, when I first had my knife set, it came with that steel rod, and there's no grit to it. It's just a steel rod, and I didn't know better, and I ruined all my knives trying to sharpen them, so I thought it sharpened, and I didn't realize what a ceramic rod does, and yeah, a lot of mistakes I've learned very quickly. I'm like, okay, this doesn't work, this ruins knives. So my process was, I had a very nice, well, this was my first knife actually, like the Mercer. And I bring this to the fire station to cook for the guys, so it still has plenty of use on it. And my nickname in high school was Belt Split. Jesus. So Oh man, Stinky, I lost my train of thought. So this knife was my very first knife, and I tried to sharpen it with the steel rod that came with the set, and I just ruined it. So that sucked. So I took it to Rayleigh's, which is a grocery store that offers free knife sharpening, and they scratched it up and they put a completely different bevel on. So then I had to figure out how to sharpen knives, and I came across this. Oh yeah, perfect. I spent a little bit more time at the tip, actually. And I was not good at freehanding, so I wanted a guided system, and every system was super expensive. So then I came across this, and I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. And I could use my own stones, so I had to research stones, and this is my favorite system. It's cheap enough where it doesn't break the bank, but it's sturdy enough where it's gonna last a long time. I think I'll make a cleaver after I make. Clint, you have to send me pictures of your work, man. I can't wait to see it. Stinky, why was your name Belt Splitter back in high school? Crab Castle, hey man, how's it going? Thank you for everyone who's tuning in and sticking around to watch this. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. So it definitely helps the channel and small businesses like mine. I lied. Stinky. So yeah, I feel a burr. So now I'm gonna flip it over. All right. Clint, cheers, dude. Okay, let's make sure that's good. Perfect. I have seen those like those tumblers. Horl, Horl. I think that is the original one, and I think that has like the better diamonds on it. And then I think the tumbler is kind of like a knockoff. I think it uses cheaper materials, and I don't even know what they are. And there's only a few sizes, like they're very fixed angles, either 15 or 20 degrees, while this one can go pretty much from 0 to 30. So you have a wider range. I had one customer who uses that, and he said his tumbler, and it was the tumbler version from Facebook, it stopped rolling. It just became super stiff, and then it just stopped working. So he contacted me to get his knife sharpened, and I sharpened everything on that twice, or on the 1x30. So, and plus, I think they give false numbers when they use their best scale. So they just Hassan chop that test media instead of actually going smooth enough. So I think they lie on their advertising, unfortunately. Work a little more up at the tip. Oh man, am I? So, yeah, we got a few people watching. I am in Reno, Nevada, sharpening. It is, it snowed here a few days ago, and the weather is still very cold. Yeah, let me know where you guys are sharpening or watching from. I know we have people watching from all over the world. Very good. Cool. And I have a couple of steak knives here that just need a little bit of a tune-up. So you see how simple that is. Put the knife on, locked in, and then you could use this to push against it to make sure it's locked in. It's perfect. North Carolina, thank you very much for tuning in, man. Stinky, I can always appreciate that, buddy. So I'm gonna do just a probably 3/4 of the knife here, so I create a burr, then I can really focus just on the tip here. So, and everyone has their preference of edge leading or edge trailing. I just go forward and backwards to create the burr, and then when I hit the ceramic stones is then when I'll go edge leading to minimize that burr. So even though I have like the knife tilted to hit this, I'm making sure my angle is still in the bubble level. And this whole thing actuates here as well. So obviously it goes forward and back, and then you could turn it. So you're gonna have that same angle if you just want to hit the tip compared to the heel of the knife, which is fantastic. So I had a very nervous pucker factor when I first started sharpening because I did not have this diamond stone, and I was advertising I was sharpening knives because I was doing a good job for my friends and family, but it took me a long time to sharpen each knife, and I didn't understand what the purpose of a burr was. Spend a little bit more time up here. So I was only using my ceramic high grit stones, and then this lady wanted 20 knives sharpened. I'm like, oh my God, that's gonna take me a week to sharpen them. And I had to do more research, and come to find out I had to go coarse, get a coarse stone first to sharpen, create that burr, and then it was smooth sailing. But then people would bring me knives that had giant chips on them and then broken tips, and I had to figure out ways to sharpen that and restore it, and it just took forever on the stones. So that's when I came across electric sharpening, and then went through, I actually used the Chef's Choice guided sharpener, and that was horrible, left horrible scratches on the knives, and then the Ken Onion, which was fantastic. So I still have the Ken Onion for certain tools, and then I came across the 1x30s. So once I came across the 1x30s, never really looked back, and then I figured, it's a horrible day outside, so might as well sharpen indoors, and that's why I still have this one. Good, 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 good. And the thing I love about diamond stones from DMT is that very high quality diamonds, they don't fall off, and this doesn't concave like whetstones, so you don't need a flattening stone. So that's why I love diamond stones, and that's why I got ceramic stones, but I'm sure there's better ones out there. This is just what I first got, so, and I've always kept it. Is this a good angle, or would you guys want a different point of view? Sweet. Have a burr. Since I'm sharpening to create a burr, I'm not worried about how many strokes I'm taking, just enough to create a burr. And then when I have created a burr, when I move on to my ceramic stones, I'll do equal passes on both sides. But it is nice to sharpen without having a respirator on, I'm not gonna lie. good. Very strong magnet. I think next time if I would do this over, I would just get all diamond stones. Like they make ones with a high enough grit, you can still leave a nice little polish on it. Oh no, out of propane. Ugh. Sorry, buddy. I think what people mess up the most about you know, free hand sharpening and is just maintaining a constant angle, and that's why I love this one. And you know, most guide sharpeners have the same angle or can maintain the same angle, which is great. But you have to use smaller stones. Usually they're like 1 inch wide, and now you could use any size length stone since this is adjustable or in any width. So this is why I prefer this one over the others. And even if your technique for sharpening is bad, this machine will not let you screw up. All you have to do is maintain the same angle that you want and make sure your the bubble level is within the middle, and you're good to go. Burr, perfect. All right. Our sharpener. Hey Riley, this is the SharpWorks guided knife sharpener. In the description of this live stream, I put their website, and this thing is fantastic. So you can set the angle to whatever angle you want. This adjusts forward or backwards depending on how small or wide your knife is. So this is a pretty narrow knife, so I have it pretty narrow up here. And then for the wider knives, I can adjust this back. This whole piece is a magnet. Then up here is the bubble level, and this makes sure you're hitting the same angle. So if I'm sharpening at 20 on the angle here, all I have to do is put the bubble level within the middle. So even though I have the angle at 20, this is wrong at the wrong angle, and then you just move it up to whatever it is here, and it's that simple. So this is from SharpWorks, and I have a discount code for 10% off your entire order. This, I think, model is like less than $100 right now. Hey Jim, how's it going, buddy? It was impressive seeing Mike's live stream today with all the beauty salon shears, and I can't believe people still screw up sharpening and create a bevel edge for the convex shears. So today I'm just sharpening indoors in my house since it's freezing, and I wanted to show off my old school knife sharpener. This was my very first one, and these are my personal knives. So I have a few steak knives, a knife I take to the fire station, and a couple of paring knives. So cool. We created a burr. All right, so now we are done with the diamond stone. So we can get that out of here. So next, I have my ceramic medium grit from Spyderco. Looking online, it was tough to find anything that would say like what grit this is, but I found out it's around 1200 grit. So it's a little bit smaller, or a little bit less narrow. So the cool thing about this is, so you see how it doesn't have a perfect fit? You loosen these two screws back here, and then push it together, because this thing can adjust to whatever length that you need. And you just push it to where it's tight, it's in the middle. Then you tighten it up, and then that's perfect. I won't. Yeah, I'm only doing, and here, let's wet this a little bit. I am only doing fabric shears. I'm not messing with, oh, since this has a wider base, I can adjust the angle. Actually, let's do that last since that has the widest one. Yeah, I'm not messing with any salon shears. I'm doing fabric shears, which the twice as sharp works amazing. But yeah, it's a different animal doing this salon shears. Plus, they're very expensive, and if you screw it up, that is bad, bad, bad. At least if I ever ruined a pair of fabric shears, which I don't plan on doing, they're easy to replace for the customer. But with the twice as sharp, it's so easy. Okay, I lost count. I'm gonna go to 30 on each side. I'm gonna touch, yeah. So when you hit the higher grits, it's very tough to feel a burr. So that's why I just do equal passes back and forth. Make sure I touch that side. Okay. And I'm just putting water on the stone. So if you guys are enjoying this little bit of like a Zen video compared to my normal thing, please give a thumbs up. It definitely helps and promotes the channel. Okay. That one was done. Are you using the twice as sharp, Jim? Or are you not doing any scissors at all? How is the frame looking? Am I in frame for you guys? Cool thing is this doesn't even have to be perfect for me because this arm will not let you screw up. So I can have completely wrong body mechanics and still sharpen this. So trying to get the best view for you guys. Gable, what's up, buddy? Hold on, sorry. Okay, so you sharpen on a belt. So when I first started sharpening scissors, I was still using the Ken Onion. I didn't realize I wasn't doing a good job. I was only touching the very tip of it, the very tip of the scissors. So then when I got the twice as sharp, I was like, oh, I have to hit the entire bevel. So I'm so glad that I have that one. I've just been making razor sharp scissors. Well, good, man. Good. How's work today? Hopefully it was chill for you. It's freezing in Reno. It snowed a few days ago, so I'm just gonna do my own personal knives on the inside of the house, and I thought I'd show off my old school sharpener. So this is from Sharpworks, and this was the very first sharpener I got because I did not want to freehand knife sharpen. So cool thing is this allows you to use your own stones. Well, so what's the weather like where you're at? Yeah, it does take a steady hand. Do you guys want more of like a top-down view, or is this a good angle for you guys to view this at? I haven't done any recording on the inside of the house, so I'm still trying to figure that out. I just have the phone on a stationary mount or on a tripod. I have not sharpened S90 V steel with this yet. So harder steel, it would take a lot longer to create a burr on it. So all I've done is just basic household kitchen knives. I did buy this other work sharpener that has much higher grit, but I like this one better. But then I was so worried about the high-end EDCs, I wanted to use the Worksharp Precision Adjust because I was so worried about using the belt sander. But then I used it on a couple of my knives and I got very comfortable with it. So we're getting up to 46 today, then warm in January. It's 35. Yeah, it's probably around 32, 33 in Reno right now. We finally had our first snowstorm on the valley floor a few days ago. So I'm just using and the reason why I went with ceramic stones, because I wasn't sure how long I was gonna do stone sharpening for. And I didn't want to have a whole bunch of different whetstones and then have a flattening stone. So I was researching ceramic stones and they don't cup like how whetstones do. So you don't need a flattening stone. And I thought the high grit was gonna be perfect. What I didn't know was I needed something like the diamond stone to create that burr at first. So once we create that burr, now it's just easy work using these ceramic stones, just going equal passes. $50. Is there any snow where you're at, Gabo? Just need something coarse to apex and then. Hey, Ing, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, so my problem was I'm a very hands-on learner. So when people were talking about a burr, I'm like, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what that is. And I was spending time on this stone which is around 1200 grit, for like a solid hour. I'm like, I'm not creating a burr at all. And I was like, and obviously when you're grinding and you haven't created that burr and you want to test how sharp it is, you haven't apexed like the knife. So the knife is not sharp at all. I'm like, I just wasted an hour of my life trying to sharpen, and it's just worse off now. So it took me a while to understand like what a burr felt like. And I'm like, oh, okay. Once I created that, then it's easy going with these ceramic knives, or the stones. Yeah. So, and then with the coarsenesses of the belt grinder, the belt sander, you know, you got the 50, 80, 120. It's so easy to fill a burr. And then with the diamond stone here, it's a coarse grit. You can fill a burr so easy. So here I'm just going around the easy passes. Yes, out there. Yeah. So that's why I still love my belt sanders. So for business, I won't ever go back. I love it. But for regular sharpening, like your own knives, and you just want to have a little bit of a zen day, I think this is fantastic. Yeah. Gabriel, yeah, that's cool, man. So have you always lived there in that area? Ing, I totally agree. So I think 1200 is a good, is good. But I did buy the fine and the ultra fine too. So, but I think just using the strop and then this is a good start. But you don't need as many stones. Like I think you just need a coarse grit, fine grit, and then a strop, and you should be good for 90% of your daily needs. One thing I think I would do for a little upgrade is put a little stopper here on the back so I don't pull it off like I just did. Again, if you're paying attention, you won't do that. But for another probably safety thing, it won't be hard to get a little stopper nut on the back here. But that's all. I mean, some steels, you know, take up to 3,000 for normal. Yeah. So that's why I bought this. I mean, having the around 5,000 grit, in case you guys wanted that mirror polish. But I think on my belt sanders, I think the highest grit I have is like, is that A3, which I think is like 3,000 or 4,000 grit. So, but I rarely use that one. I only have a few of those belts. My main workhorse is 120 to create that burr, the 600 grit to refine it, and then the 1200 grit to leave that mirror polish, and then I strop. But that machine, and I have 4 of them, is like close to 300 bucks. This right here, this is less than $100 right now. I think the sharpener. Also, you still have to get your own stones, but that's a cool thing is you can research and get any stone that you want, and this will fit it. And you don't create all the metal shavings like you do that are flying around with like the belt grinders. So again, there's a huge cost for it. You have to get, you know, like a respirator, ear pro, tons of stuff just to make sure that you're healthy. So switching to a larger knife, I'm gonna adjust this. I'm just gonna move this back. I think my entire setup. So Ing, so what setup do you have? Sharple. What are you using? So what do you want to use for your diamond emulsion? Because I did make a little video about that. Dude, serrations and recurves suck. Yeah. There is, yeah. I did buy that buck tool, so I'm waiting for the diamond wheels to get here from Cliff Curry. So when I sharpen serrations, I only touch the back edge right now, but when I get that serration wheel, I'm able to put regrinds in the serrations, and I'm gonna touch it up with the Scotch-Brite wheels, and it's gonna be razor sharp. So can't wait for that to get in. And like I was saying, it's so tough to do curved knives on stones. Yeah. So I honestly don't know how you do like kookarees and stuff like that because the stone is so wide. Okay. Always wanted to go to Austria, man. Every time I see pictures, it's just like it looks like beautiful mountains, small towns. It looks amazing. So I did make a video of how to create your own diamond emulsion. If you want to check that out, I just bought some diamond powder from Amazon for like 15, 16 bucks. Got some rubbing alcohol and mixed it up, and I put it in a little squirt bottle, and that was my diamond emulsion. So one thing I did not think about though is alcohol will somewhat dry out like your leather strop if you are using a leather strop. So I have to mix around. Can you use the diamonds with water? I don't know, but that's just the research I was doing. So I don't know. I need to figure that out. But so far I've had great success using that. Oh, dude, you could use that, like my method, but with felt belts. Felt belts will not have any issue with the alcohol. So, grit. So I started with, I actually had to look this up on ChatGPT for the ceramic stones first, but I'm using, where is it? The DiaSharp Extra Coarse. And I don't know what this is. I think it's maybe either 80 or 100 grit. Very coarse. And then I just use the 1200 grit ceramic stone from Spyderco. It's medium grit. And then I also have the fine grit, which is 2000 grit, and then 5000 grit for the ultra fine. I don't think you need these at all, like the fine and ultra fine. I think the 1200 is fine. So the cool thing is I'm gonna use my leather strop now on this, but it doesn't fit since we used the other stone. So the cool thing is push this back a little bit, then push it forward, lock it in, and you're good to go. So, all right. I'm just gonna do a few of these. I have PT for my shoulder in a half an hour, so I would have gone through the other ones just to show. Here, I'll just show you like what they look like. So the other one was a little dark gray brown, and then this one's white, and I think the ultrafine is white as well. So they said that you can use these dry or water. I think water is just easier on the ears and makes it glide a little bit faster, or glide smoother. So, and then here's the ultrafine. But I did buy a felt belt though, and just for that. So, cool thing is, this is still set at 20 on the angle, but it's so much higher. So what I do here is I just raise this up to make sure it's in the middle, like the bubble level. And now it's at the right angle. So all I'm doing is edge trailing right now. Do not edge lead. Do not cut into your leather belt or your strap. But I did that though at the very beginning. that is when I was pushing forward like an idiot. So don't do that. So biggest thing why I love this machine or this angle guide is that it's so versatile because it'll work with small, large stones, wide, narrow stones, and it's fantastic. I have the camera to my left, so I have to be a little careful not to bump it. All right, a few swipes, let's see how we do. Oh, let's get in frame. Is this in frame? Not bad. I like it. So put a little tape here, probably add a little bit more tape. That's just a little bit of the extra metal shavings. But for what it was, it's not bad. And if you want to spend more time, I'm doing this for a little bit over 1 hour, and it's very zen. I don't have to yell. I'm in an air-conditioned building. Oops. Knives are sharp, so there's no lying about that. So, I don't know. It's good. So, I bought this a couple years ago, and I was chatting, with the owner. I'm like, hey man, I want to promote this. Can we do anything? So he's offering 10% discount for anyone who buys any of the tools with a discount code. It's like the knife guy at 10 for 10% off like your order. So, and honestly, this was my very first sharpener a couple years ago. So I wouldn't promote anything that I wouldn't believe in. And to be honest, I do get a little kickback. So honestly, if you want to buy it, it's honestly a good sharpener. And you can see what I'm doing right here. So, but if you guys don't want to buy it, at least you can see how this works, and this might give you a good idea of like, okay, I like this about this sharpener, or I don't like this. But for what it is, I'm very happy. So, perfect. Honestly, you could just watch this. I mean, this is very mindless work. You can watch TV, or just do anything, or just sit in silence and just enjoy the little zenning. So, and the cool thing was, I lent this to someone, and this piece broke. Since this part is 3D printed, and I was like, hey man, this piece broke, and he sent me a brand new piece. So, and this one is made out of steel. So, customer service is very good. And I think being a sharpener, things break, and having someone to talk to and finding a solution is fantastic. Or at least the customer service. Not bad. Not bad. And this was sharpened only up to 1200 grit. So, very good. And obviously, wash these with some soap and water after you're done. That's the biggest thing I would say as well. But so, do you guys want to see more sharpening videos like this of when I actually get to customers' knives? This is just my own, but do you want to see more of this, or do you like more of the 1x30s in the shop? biggest thing is like I just want to give you guys the 1x30 is a lot more efficient, so I still. Okay, so you want to see a little bit more of the volume. All right. And honestly, I enjoy doing the 1x30s as well. I just want to show someone a different way of sharpening if they don't want to spend all the money on that machine. Yeah, I mean, which is true. You get to see a lot more different knives. And then, I can knock out so many knives in 1 hour. A few knives from one customer, a few knives from a different customer. And then I know Gabo would like to see all the wrapping, all the burritos. So try to make it good enough for everyone. Oops. There we go. Running out of real estate here. So for a steak knife, that's not bad. Let's see. Yeah, for a prime person that doesn't want money sharpening. Yep. Well, that was the thing. Like, I wanted this. I'm like, how do I sharpen like my own knives without getting into like the whole business side? And this is good. One, it doesn't create a mess. I have a couple of towels underneath in case, for water, spillage, or any metal shavings, and these towels would go right in the wash. So I think each one has its place. Like if the weather's bad and I don't have a lot of knives or a time frame, I could do these. But like in the 1 hour, a little bit of the hour I'm sharpening, I could knock out so many knives. I can honestly tell people this will help you. I can honestly tell people this will help you not have to sit there. Yeah, man, like I knew I couldn't have the patience or the skill to maintain the same angle. Like that's just not happening. I mean, like for me, and people can do it because yes, I can probably maintain like the same angle, like right here, just trying to use like my thumb, but just here, I noticed that I was wobbling a little bit. So maintaining that same angle, as much as people say that they're really good at it or they love freehanding, it's tough to maintain it. So if you can't maintain the same angle, you're never gonna have a consistent sharpening process. So here, just trying to be as transparent as possible. So look at my wrist. Oh, lock your wrist. Gotcha. So, yep. So, okay, so you're saying like this. See, like that's the thing. I have to be mindful of the angle, having the same thing, and use my whole body. I think that'll be more consistent. Or I could just use like one hand. Okay. And I'm always gonna have the same angle. So, I mean, my freehand skills are not that good since I primarily sharpen on the 1x30. So just very rusty with a freehand. And I'm like, cool, this is something I want to be consistent at. And then if I just want to, watch the dog or watch a little TV, it's almost mindless work. That's not bad. Cool. I think that's all the knives. So, Gabo, I apologize. There will be no burrito today. This is my own personal knives, and yeah, I just want to show you guys what this is about. So, if you guys want to purchase it, cool. If not, that's totally fine too. I just want to show you different ways out there instead of trying to freehand. So, I learned to hold a steady angle with the work sharp canned onion. How funny. Jim, yeah, I like that. Well, I never got that extra piece. All I had was the regular Ken Onion that has the angle guides. So if you're so consistent with keeping that angle from starting low and then going to high on that belt sharpener, good on you, man. That's cool. I noticed when I even try to freehand on the 1x30, I'm like, man, I'm so inconsistent. So I like, and then, know your strengths. For me, I have to have some sort of angle guide. That's why I love this type of machine. That's why I love the angle guides for the 1x30. That's why I love the angle guides for the twice as sharp. So that's just me. I cannot freehand, and if I do, I don't have the steadiest of hands. But easier when you freehand sharpen. Interesting. So you guys are saying, okay, so you're saying start at the tip and then work your way back like this, and then you're saying start here. Yeah, I think that's personal preference. Again, I think what you guys are saying is having good body mechanics. I use my thumbs for reference a lot, and sometimes I put my finger at the very tops to make sure it's on the edge, and then see just right here holding it. I have to put my thumbs here and then lock it, and I'm using my whole body, like I'm leaning back, using all the big muscles in my body. How cool. Well, sweet, guys. As I follow the scratch pattern, I'm on the bevel. See, and you guys are probably way better at all this than I am. So I'm learning from you guys just as much as you're learning from me with the belt sharpener. So, well, sweet, guys. I appreciate everyone tuning in today. I have to head to my shoulder PT appointment since I'm a broken man. And then I should have some more knives made tomorrow, but then I go back to work at the fire station on Thursday, Friday. So I'm going to be heading out in a little bit, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. I wanted to try something new, and haven't done this on the inside, and I figured this would be a great time. So again, this is Vinny, the knife guy. I totally appreciate it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I have a messed up back and shoulder, all due from the fire department. So just a lot of PT and just trying to get better and get stronger. So I appreciate that. I start by looking at the stone and go, nope. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna head out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Take care. I'll try and be on the next couple of days. But again, this is Vinny, the knife guy. And take care, guys. Have a great night. Bye.